the language that I'm sharing, even for here, is about true and full value. $4.07 per 100,000 of true and full value. That's what I think what commonly we know our house is worth.
Right.
The statute requires it in taxable value. So I've challenged everybody I've been in front of, like, can you explain what taxable value is? Like, Tom, can you tell me what the definition is? And most people don't have a clue what that is.
Nope.
So when they get into the ballot box, they see 127 million. You're going to see 10.84 mils. You're going to see 20 years. But then on the fourth line down the ballot, you're going to see it's $10.84 per 1,000 of taxable value. Well, that's where people say, well, Jeff told me it's $4.07. No, it's the same thing, but taxable value is your true and full cut in half, then 9% of the half, and then you apply the mills. Most people have no idea of how that math works. I just want to be really clear that we're talking the same thing. We're starting with different numbers, but it's the same thing. We get to the same end point, the same sum. And to understand that people understand that a yes is a yes and a no is a no. There's no trick reverse questions that sometimes we see on ballot.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that happens from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think people can get confused at a ballot box, or maybe you feel a little like, oh, I got to
little shock
get out of here quick,
Yeah.
and so you maybe quickly and in the wrong way, check the wrong box.
I probably shouldn't even told you how to do the calculations. I tell people at community meetings, I'll buy them a coffee if they can tell me the calculation. Well, now I'm going to be handing out coffee.
Well, hey, wait, I was going to say, now, I like coffee, so I might go home and try and figure this out so I can get my free coffee.
Yeah.
You've touched on this, I think, but I'm just trying to circle back and think about some key points and again, just kind of going to like what I've seen on social media and heard talked about is, why wasn't this addressed earlier?
Yeah, that's a good question. One, I mean, I haven't been here that long. I'm in my third year, but that's not an excuse. I think I get to represent the whole totality of BPS. Again, I would say you have two things that are running in concert with each other. You have a board that's for years taken a very fiscally conservative approach to taxation and collecting money. They haven't asked for it unless they needed it, and so they've been doing that, and that we benefited from that, all of us as taxpayers, because they've helped keep taxation low for Bismarck residents or Bismarck Public School residents. The other part of that is someone said, well, why didn't you just save up the money? And I would say, I think schools are different than me, me as a homeowner.
Right.
Because you and I have a savings account, but when I put my money into my savings account, before Junior hits the tree, but I mean, when I put it in my savings account, I'm saving my money. It's the money I've earned. When schools save money, or I'd say really any public entity saves money, we're sitting on taxpayer dollars. And I think schools, one, are restricted. We can only save so much, 35%. So I did the math today. That's like 77 million. So that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Still wouldn't have addressed all this. And I think if any taxpayer would look at our financials at the end of the year and say, why is the school sitting on $50 million? That is crazy. I'd say, well, give us our money back so I can use it.
Right.
And then when you need something, come ask us. Well, that's exactly what we're doing.